Is the Tesla Model X P100D performance with Ludicrous Mode really all it's cracked up to be? Or is it just another one of Elon Musk's marijuana-induced blunders that would honestly be better off on Mars? I want you to have the one and only 100% true, honest review of what it's like to drive one of these cars. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And not only that, but the issue that made my car literally unsafe to drive for over a month, and if I would do it all over again. So we're gonna start off with what all you negative Nancys wanna know, which is the Tesla Model X issues. While the Tesla Model X is probably the coolest car that I've ever even sat inside, and with this having ludicrous mode, is honestly fast enough to require your passengers to wear diapers. You shit my pants! It was apparent from the start that it is far from perfect when in the first week of owning the car, it started to have these vibrations. And the vibrations just got worse and worse until it was apparent that this was unsafe to drive because it felt like you were driving a blender bottle down the freeway that was bound to fly off the road at any given moment. So needless to say, I was extremely disappointed. And not only disappointed, but also worried that I had just spent way too much money on a trash can of a six-figure car. And this ended up being the first of several run-ins that I had with Tesla's service department. So this is kind of a cool part about whenever you do have a problem with your Tesla, is that unlike other dealerships, Tesla actually has like a mobile service department. So you just get into your Tesla app and you type in the issue that you're having, and then they schedule to actually have a Tesla mechanic come out directly to your house. So here's the problem. If you're like me and you live in a town that's 200 miles away from the nearest Tesla service center, then your Tesla mechanic has a 3-hour drive just to get to your car, and that means he only comes to your town once a month. So now, here I am, stuck with my Tesla that has essentially become a drivable vibrator, and I've got myself a pretty looking garage ornament that costs almost as much as my house. So I gotta say, that first 30 days with the car was rather disappointing. I mean, it honestly probably brought me more depression than it did any kind of enjoyment for those first 30 days. So the Tesla mechanic comes out and he test drives it, he checks it out a little bit, and then more or less says he doesn't know what's wrong with it and that I should take it to a local tire shop. So he said, as long as I drive slowly, it should be safe for me to drive. So luckily it didn't take long before the local tire shop was able to tell me what was wrong, which was that the sound dampening insulation that they put inside the tire got all bunched up whenever I was doing my 0 to 60 in 2.8 second light speed pulls. And it's too bad that Mr. Tesla mechanic couldn't have told me that 30 days earlier, so I wouldn't have had to make an $1,100 payment on car that I couldn't drive. So then everything was all fine and dandy, and me and the Tesla fell in love and lived happily ever after, right? Right? Wrong. I've had to have the Tesla mechanic come out several times, once for the tire that I told you about, once because my passenger door just quit opening and they had to replace like some several $100 part that fortunately was covered by warranty. And I also had them replace the screen because it went black for an extended period of time while I was actually driving the vehicle, which doesn't really sound like that big of a deal until you understand that the Tesla completely runs on this tablet here. And as if that wasn't enough, now my back seat, as you can see, that's how it's supposed to function, won't go down. It makes the sound. See that? You know, you hear that fancy gizmo in there? Yeah, well, it ain't going down. And while it isn't that hard to get my Tesla app out and put in another service request to try to get this thing to go down, it's just kind of a pain in the ass. While the Tesla Model X feels like you're hopping into some sort of machine that should have Chewbacca in the passenger seat as you fly at light speed off to the nearest planet of Tatooine, I've noticed that the gizmos and gadgets here seem to be more for hype and for marketing than they really are for practical use, because they seem to break a lot. So you might be asking yourself, why the heck didn't Anthony just take his mechanically challenged Tesla back to Elon Musk and get his small fortune back? And the answer is because. Because this car is f***ing awesome. While the car does have a few quirks and is more gimmicky than anything,
oh, that was a wet one.
it is honestly the best experience. I mean, it's super comfortable, it's cool looking, it drives me around town, and it rattles my brain with pleasure every time I put the pedal to the floor. It's just an all-around awesome piece of technology. And for those of you that are curious about charging and how much of a pain that is, unexpectedly, I have found that having an electric car is actually more convenient than having a gas-powered car, because I essentially wake up with a full tank of gas every morning. So unless you're a drug smuggler or a NASCAR circle track driver or something like that, you're probably not gonna burn through your 300-mile range every day. And best of all, you just really can't beat the kind of enjoyment that others get out of a car like this. You know, from kids waving to clients' jaws dropping when the Falcon doors come up, to picking up my teenage little brother and his friends, and this car driving fast enough to enter another dimension. There's just so much enjoyment that you can get out of a car like this. And I made sure to buy the Tesla Model X performance model with Ludicrous Mode. And you might be asking, you know, was it really worth the 20 extra G's that it cost to get Ludicrous Mode? And I would say yes, at least for me. Being a car guy, it was a little bit weird getting used to having no engine sounds, but that 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, I mean, beating Ferraris and Lamborghinis off the line, is pretty sweet and hard to beat. So what about the self-driving package? I mean, it's up to $10,000 now. Is it really worth 10 G's for your car to drive you to the grocery store while you're asleep, or switch lanes on your behalf, or even drive up to you with the summon mode? I don't know, it's a little bit more debatable. I think that those are kind of more gimmicky features. And if I were to buy the car again, I don't think I would spend the extra 10 grand on the self-driving mode. Bottom line is that the Tesla Model X performance model with Ludicrous Mode was my dream car, and still is. I am so blessed to have this vehicle. I mean, it's just an awesome piece of technology. Whenever I hop back in my old Honda CR-V, it literally just feels like I'm driving like a primitive weed whacker around town in comparison to the Tesla Model X. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel to follow us on the journey to real estate millionaire. And if you want to learn how you could save tens of thousands of dollars off sticker price on your very own Tesla Model X performance with Ludicrous Mode, go ahead and click on the video over here. I know you want to, and you're gonna learn a ton. So thank you guys so much for watching, and see you on the next one.